In this video I'll show you how to wax cheese and store it. You'll need a few simple items. I use this crock pot with a temperature control on it, but you could just heat your wax in a pan. The important thing is that you heat it slowly and to 150 degrees. Of course you need the cheese. In this case I have some Monterey Jack. And you'll need some wax. It can be purchased at a lot of different places. Get Cultures, makingcheese.com. And I like to put stickers on it which tell me what it is. You could write on the cheese with a pen or pencil. You heat the cheese, and here you see it's almost heated. Still a few lumps left. Once it's melted, you're ready to start. You want to make sure you have enough wax in there that you can get at least half of the cheese into the wax. So you're going to dip at least half of it into the wax. You can notice here that it's a fairly light color because it's the first coating. It will take a few seconds to dry. As I said, when you heat it, you could do it on the stove. You just want to heat it slowly so you don't burn it. And you heat it to about 140, 150 degrees. And when you're ready, you can grab the wax portion and dip in the second half, and that'll complete one coat. What you're going to want to do is put between 3 and 5 coats. 3 can be sufficient. If you want a little heavier, you put a couple extra coats. Just turn the cheese over, and in this case I had some lumps that hadn't melted yet, so you can see I'm cutting them off the cheese, stirring them back in there. The reason for doing about 3 to 4 coats is to make sure the cheese is covered, but also when you cut the wax to eat the cheese after you've stored it and aged it, the wax is thick enough that you could probably save it. Usually you can take the wax off and clean it in the sink, getting any old cheese that's stuck to it off, and throw it back in your wax pot. So the process is pretty simple. Dip. Wait until the wax dries. Only about 10 or 15 seconds is enough. And dip it in again and make sure you get it at least up to where it was before. So you get some overlap and make sure that the cheese is totally covered. You can find wax at, as I said before, at getcultures.com, cheesemaking.com, and other places on the internet that sell cheese wax. You don't want to use paraffin wax. You want a wax that's food edible. So I'm going to give this one just 3 coats. You can see now that it's coming out to be a nice deep red. When I'm finished, the nice thing about having this pot is I just leave my wax in there and let it cool. Cover it with some saran wrap to keep it clean, and it's ready to go for the next time. You could pour it out, you could let it get hard and lift it out of your pan. A number of things you could do. Okay, once it's done, you have all the waxes done. I'll set them out and show you a picture here of the waxes I did during this particular project. And then you want to store the wax, and depending on the cheese, most of them store about 55 degrees. They like a little humidity. So here's a refrigerator, and I've coated the shelves, or put on the shelves, some cheesecloth, and you can set the wax on the cheesecloth. Now one of the problems is that a regular refrigerator will not go high enough to reach the 55 degrees. But you can purchase online several different kinds of thermostats, portable thermostats. Here you see one that I have here. This is a Johnson control. And the thermostat will turn your refrigerator off at the temperature that you set on it. This is the digital one. You can also get analog ones. I've kept this simple right now. I've just put the thermostat wire, the cheese door just shuts on them. So you can see here the wire just goes down and the thermostat's just hanging into the fridge. I may in the future drill a hole in the side and actually mount it inside the refrigerator. If you do that, make sure you don't hit a coil. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. I did indeed drill a hole into the refrigerator. Small refrigerators are fairly safe because the cooling coils are in the top. They cool the freezer and the cold air falls down. So there shouldn't be any cooling coils in the side. So I'm using the same thermostat. Here you can see I drilled a hole the size to put it in there. I haven't siliconed it yet, but I'll put a little silicone there, although it's a pretty tight fit. And inside the refrigerator, we'll take a look and see what it looks like inside there. Pretty much the same, except now I don't have to worry about it being against the rubber gasket. There's where it comes through. And I dropped it down one more shelf. I want it to be in the middle towards the back bottom of the refrigerator. So I get an average temperature down there, closer to where most of the cheese is stored. So that's how to put the thermostat inside the refrigerator. Again, hope you enjoyed it.